Hepatitis.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. How are
Good
you all
evening,
doing?
Miss Smart.
Oh no, that really not keen on that.
No, I hate it.
Oh God.
Just end stream, end stream. End stream.
Goodbye.
Start over. It's all right. We can edit this out. It's okay. Welcome, guys. We're a Wiki Game. All of us except for Nikki, who's now. I'm just going to quickly send him his notice. I'm Lydia. That's Nikki. That's Nikki. That's Michelle. That's Tom. I think that's right.
Yeah.
And we're here, as always, to play D&D. More kind of to the point, we're here to play Dungeons and Dragons. More importantly than that, we're playing the campaign of the Lighthouse of Eisodos. And so, settle in, buckle up, pipe
Or
down.
don't. We're not your mum.
Whatever makes you comfortable. Announcements. Automatic Flash. I've been saying your name wrong for the longest time. I don't really know what I can say except
So
that
this is Wiki Games' apology to Atomic Flash for calling you Automatic Flash all this time. We can only apologise.
It's the other way around, right? So please don't confuse me. Fucking hell. So all I can say is I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. Thank you to Automatic Flash, Sweet Poison, and Rooney, who are our chat champions. We're big fans of all of you. Michelle and I are playing Dragon Age tomorrow at the earlier time of 12. So tune in to watch us get like irrationally angry over the Eggman.
Yep.
And lust off everybody else that moves in the game.
Yep.
And me to play in a kind of substandard sort of way, if that's your bag. What else we got? Shout out to some of our favourite bits and pieces. Feline Trickster, Michelle, I don't know why I'm suddenly calling you that. Michelle or Feline Trickster and Top Banana Jam do streams on Mondays and Fridays.
We do.
Alternating channels, so keep your eyes peeled for that.
Mondays are M for Michelle.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense. Some other heroes have 2 incredible campaigns going at the moment. And so you're both alike in dignity, except that Michelle's in one of them. So that's amazing. Pop over to their channel for that. And if you want to do stuff with your ears more than your eyes,
That's good because God still thinks you're pure.
Then pop over to Dice and a Slice wherever you get your pods, because they do great D&D podcasts. And now that it's a bi-weekly Wicked Slice, so you can hear us, what we did here a little way back, but just like edited and to be all pretty by the incomparable Alicia. What else we got? Michelle's commissions are open and I believe already pretty stacked. Are you full yet?
I'm pretty full.
So fucking
Whoever you have to elbow in the face to get in line, you've got to do it. Any other news, guys?
Just on that, if you don't need it for like a few months, get in now. Because that means that come the time you need it, it's probably going to be ready for you.
Yeah.
Because if you go, I want it at the end of the month, and you come in on the 10th, she's stacked.
I'm stacked. I'm full.
Thanks for the raid, Josh. We just shouted you out, so you missed it.
So, I think that is basically everything. Boop, biddy, boop, boop, boop. We have hit all the bases. So now, previously on the Lighthouse of Eisodos, Cece, Mav, and Elle have, they have been living on the archipelago now for a little over a month. Feels like more, but it is not. So they're 1 month into their 1 year contract.
Wait.
Michelle.
We've definitely been here longer than a month. We've already done some months downtime.
Yeah, and either side of that, you had like one day. I mean, we had the last 3 sessions have been a singular day.
No, that's fine. I was just suddenly like, I'm sure we've already done some.
Do you want her to kill us?
No. I'm so sorry. Yes.
Feeling spicy.
Correct.
Try me.
You're absolutely correct.
It is a little over a month, but it's not much over a month.
Okay.
Now, currently, if you're interested, the 3rd of whoa, I spelled it wrong in my own notes. High-Haw.
Hi-Haw.
Did you call me?
Hi, Lydia.
Oh, noted.
I'm replying to you calling me whore, not like I wasn't calling you a whore.
So they have already been up to tons. They have become, some of them have become very skilled in different areas. And some of them get attacked by ghosts. Some of them had got gifted magical powers by a strange creature and then had to go and save their butts when they got kidnapped by cultists. Some of them got a little inkling that there was somebody living under the lighthouse, and lo and behold, he was right. What else? You met some Triton friends who, have been along for the ride, or not so much, depending on which sibling you're talking to. And now we're just in that sweet spot of like taking a breath after all the dramas and, looking around, and it's going to be so casual. It's going to be such a casual moment for them. They've leveled up to level 6, I believe. 7.
7.
What level are you? 7.
8.
No, guys, don't confuse me, yeah? You've had a good night's sleep, so let's hit the tapes, right? And get into this shit.
Hit the tapes!
You normally say roll the thing.
Roll the thing!
Welcome to the Iridian Empire. This sprawling land is led by Emperor Julian II. You do not find us in the hustle and bustle of Iridian cities, with the push and pull of politics and law and order, nor in the dusty plains with the whispered prayers from farmers' lips, nor the treacherous Sierras. You do not find us in the northern jungles, the eastern deserts, or the southern wilds. Today, you find us in the westernmost part of the Iridian Empire. If you were to dust off a very particular and long-forgotten history book, you might read about a powerful arcanist who commanded the very seabed to rise up and form itself into a cluster of idyllic islands as a gift to his beloved and first emperor of Iridia. On the northernmost bluff of these islands, a lighthouse was formed from stone and crystal, a beautiful beacon to all that enter the Empire's waters, reminding them that they are now embraced by the borders of the greatest civilization that has ever been. These islands were named Eisodos din Iridia, or the Mouth of Iridia, but most people just called it Eisodos. Every year a new community was curated to care for the lighthouse and the islands, a dozen or two people that would bask in the paradise of this constructed archipelago. Their only law was that the light must never go out. Your history book might tell you this, and it might even tell you of the rumours of those that returned from the islands blessed and changed. But those are just bard songs and tittle-tattle, and only a fool would take them at face value. For now the year is Epoch of Julian 26, and you could count on one set of hands the people that knew of Eisodos. The centuries have slowly worn the memory of this place from people's minds like etched writing on a lichen-covered tombstone. Each year, fewer and fewer people came to the island, and those employed to recruit found themselves hardly caring, and so we find only 3 caretakers brought for the task. Only 3 lighthouse keepers to farm and maintain and live on Eisodos for a full year. El is a wood elf, with peaceful eyes and a great attachment to his friend Jacques, a crab he saved from a trap. Elle took this job for his crustacean friend as a treat away from the hubbub of towns and cities. Then there's the beautiful half-elf known as Cece, full of wit and vivacity. It wasn't long ago that she was addressed as Lady Cecilia Arcavia. If you asked her, she might find it hard to explain how she got here, or what happened that day on the ship when she was saved from the brink of death by a mysterious being. And finally, Maverick Spells, known by many as Mav. The dazzling and renowned author has many volumes to his name that could raise your pulse and bring a flush to your cheek. He tells himself he's on a grand writer's retreat, but sometimes Maverick is not completely honest with himself. There is talk of an elderly hermit that wanders a dilapidated temple, a permanent member of the island thought to be a worshipper of Tiesh, the god of tempests. Our lighthouse keepers cannot yet know what the island has in store for them. They only know that they've been promised paradise and a year away from their lives. Lives that, for whatever reason, they left behind. Welcome to Wicked Games, the Lighthouse of Eisodos.
Way,
We're
we're
back.
back.
Big
Oi.
bad Boris. No.
No. So, chaps,
And chapettes.
this
Chapettes.
first stretch of downtime will be between the 3rd of Hyo and the 3rd of Asin. So it actually stretches technically a couple of months, but practically the month of Vena is so short.
It's still a month, Lydia. You can't take that away from the month.
Everything is.
There's the shortest member of Wicked Game.
Well, I don't exist because I'm short. You just count
Sorry.
me out.
Sorry, Michelle, the short apologist of the group.
You know when you get a bank holiday and everyone just sort of writes the week off because it's only a 4-day week.
Yeah.
People in this world just go, "Oh, we don't really count Vena at the month." It's,
And,
it's so short.
Vena, you can't get anything done in Vena. It's also got a lot of holidays, and unless it's the leap year, there's no point. Don't bother.
That one extra
Unless you
day
get that
counts.
singular one other day,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
just
Absolute
no point.
nightmare to get any deals done in Vena. Like absolute nightmare, and and your targets are still the same, and it's just like I'm never going to hit my targets in Vena. You can't expect that of me.
To be fair though, dry Vena is okay.
So Mav has that like in his head of like, I just write all of Vena off, and then you're like, wait, what? For why? Time is meaningless here. So let's go round. You guys can tell me. I mean, first of all, I'm gonna, this is the time of the year that is late winter kind of time, and it has been raining pretty solidly the whole time. In fact, I would like everyone to roll a d20 once. Let's add it together, and I will do some secret workings over here. Secret
Lydia-
workings, which is adding thrice.
Lydia, are you doing illness checks at a time like
Yeah,
this?
you all die of trench foot immediately.
Dysentery.
No.
I think Elle has forgotten whole Venas. Like he's not seen it coming or going. Like they've just.
He's forgotten whole epochs. Like, what
Yeah,
are we
I think
talking about?
Elle did forget 60 years at one point. Like,
Yeah. Tell me your totals.
I don't know what everyone else's dice say. I know
Wait,
what
are we
mine
doing?
says.
Are we doing all? Are we doing
Yeah,
3d20
just give me your
each?
die. Give me your. What did you roll?
17.
17. Michelle, 1.
15. All right.
15.
All right.
Beautiful.
Jesus,
Beautiful.
God,
Beautiful. Beautiful. Tom, what'd you get?
13.
13. Guys, these are some good ass rolls right out of the gate. You have storms that litter this month and a bit, 2 months basically, but thankfully there's no damage by the storms. There's some high high waves that hit sides of the island that like in a way that you haven't seen before. But the way that it kind of manifests is very much it's kind of invigorating, actually. Like the air around the island is extremely fresh for having like all these storms whipping it around, and the lightning and all of that kind of stuff. So every day when you wake up, there's this like incredible air on the island, even though it's raining just constantly. And it's almost like there's this amazing smell. And also the lake, the freshwater lake in the middle of like the mountain ridge is really full and like healthy and happy and all of that kind of stuff. That lake is waxed and vaxed. Certain things though, you have kind of struggled a little bit with certain things because of just the constant rain. Like just dry socks have been an issue. It's just so fucking hard.
I don't wear socks.
Like your homestead, not only is your homestead, you know, open to the air in the middle where the well is, so you have this like standing water in the center of your homestead, but also the far end of it is sort of crumbling, it's like rubble. So there is this wet, rainy wind that blows through the homestead a lot, and it is hard to keep your clothes clean and dry and get fresh socks on every day.
Darling, it's hard to keep your clothes on when you're me.
Sorry, does Mav
just think
do
about
a,
that for a
does Mav do
second.
a
Just sit in that
full
moment. Mav, just sit in that moment. Just you live with yourself for a second.
I imagine Mav says that out loud once, and Cece and Ellen both just give him a look of like, who else do you think is here?
I'm sorry, Michelle. Who are you kidding? Mav says it about 4 times because he doesn't get the reaction the first time.
Yeah, we've learned.
It's like the 5th time, and Cece goes, Shay's gone, Mav. Like, Shay and Anya, they're not here right now, so I don't know who you're talking to. So yeah, wet socks, and keeping rotation. Well, I'm just repeating the last thing I said. We'll keep like rotating wood that is for fires and the hearth that need to be not green and need to be dry. But the bright side is the soil loves it, and there is a potential for a great harvest of the winter barley that you managed to just about get in. Pears, plums, hazelnuts, pine nuts, all looking really good. So harvest time will be great. The fish come back in abundance. Not only schools of like marlin and sardines and pollock and tuna, but the fish that populated like the coral reef in the bay around the peninsula, like here's me, I googled saltwater fish, moray and tigerfish and nurse sharks, and the little like colorful clownfishes and all of those sorts of like tropical little things. But it does take most of Hyor for the effects of the Saugin to finally pass and for the fish to return to the waters. So that's kind of that's a little what the islands feel like in this time. Let's go round and you can tell me what it is that you want to do with your first bit of downtime. Shall we start with Mav spells?
Oh, fucking hell. Okay.
Maverick spells. First up.
Yeah, I think in the kind of week or so post Joltish incident, I think Mav is sort of quite introspective and quite like keeps to himself quite a lot more than is normal for Mav. I think first and foremost, the fact that he was so kind of blatantly sort of dismissive of CC's worries because he thought that his idea was or his sort of concept of what was going on was a better idea, has really made him think about himself quite a lot. But also for the fact that he found someone underneath the island in these sort of catacombs, and has been, in Lydia's own words, gaslit into believing that was all in his head. I think it's really sort of taken over a lot of his sort of free time So the
Elsa,
time
we need to put next to Elska's character art, gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. That's
and then just
instead of the
underneath.
That's her quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gaslights Mav, gatekeeps Elle, and girl bosses Cece
Yeah.
by making her drink mud water.
Yeah.
So I think that like in that kind of first couple of weeks, Mav spends a lot of time up at the lighthouse with like takes a lot of bits and pieces up there, uses the little cabin quite a lot, and obviously, you know, when he goes back to the homestead, you know, he's pretty much the same old Mav, just a bit quieter, but yeah, goes about the chores that he has had, just with kind of quite a dogged determination, and probably once every now and then tries his hardest to look into, first of all, down in the center of the lighthouse, if he can turn the fucking lights, the lasers down there back on, and also whether the corridors move back to the right way round, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Tries to do a lot of exploring down there. Obviously, every single time he's down there, he tells someone that he probably tells Jax that he's down there. Like I think he probably spends quite a lot of time at the lighthouse with Jax, and it's one of those things where he's got into the habit of like bringing him up to the top of the lighthouse and kind of goes, okay, if I'm not back within an hour, go and run and tell someone, without actually realizing that Jax has no fucking way to get down the tower.
But what Jax can do is hold onto the rope and pull it up.
Also, the other thing that he can that you perhaps have misunderstood is because you've seen his deep and important connection with Elle, Mav hasn't quite understood that you can't just tell Jax a thing in common and he will understand it. He neither speaks common nor has the capability of understanding a sentence in any way.
I think Mav has realized that this crab has more intellect and sheer fierce wit than anyone else on the island.
Oh my god, there's going to be crab smut. Oh god.
Oh no.
Mav willingly mistakes the bubbling of his mouth as laughter.
God, I thought you were going to say something else.
No.
Yeah, every single time
I'm
he
trying to get it
makes
out
a
of my
joke,
head before you said it.
every single time he makes a joke that no one else laughs at, he kind of like gives Jax that sort of conspiratorial kind of like elbow nudge and goes, "Get me."
Because whenever he bubbles like from the mouth, Mav's feeding him. It's just purely Pavlovian. Like, but that awkward look from Mav means I'm about to get a snack. Saliva. Like, it sounds like laughter.
Yeah.
Right, so am I right in thinking that you are foregoing learning a skill, language, or tool proficiency in order to use your time investigating under the islands and under the lighthouse?
No, because this is the other thing that I completely forgot to mention is in this sort of realization that he's been sort of like very, very selfish and thinking much more about himself on the island at the present time, and we have all kind of been thinking about ourselves on the island at this present time as opposed to who comes after. He is actually, I think, going to start thinking about what he can do to help the island, and I think in this search, he searches the sort of shelves in the homestead for any information whatsoever about making things, whether it's it's probably more likely like carving and stuff and joinery and shit like that, like actually building shit. And I think there will be a lot of asking Elle to get him raw materials, and lots of swearing and kind of screaming from his room, and lots of Elle running to Mav running to Elle and going like with a with a splinter sort of like poking through the skin, going, can you, and it's the size of a fucking thorn. Oh, I don't like that. But yeah, so that's him. I think at the end of, if we're doing like from start to finish in this kind of time, I think towards the end of the time, he's been spending a bit of time on his own with Jacques, if you'll allow. And one day, towards the end, he sort of pops back to the homestead and kind of goes over to Elle's, what I can only assume is a hammock on the veranda kind of situation. He goes, Elle, I have I've taken a few liberties. I hope I hope you will forgive me if you say so. If just come with me now.
Mac, I'm gonna be very happy. I will come
and
over.
I think he takes you to the trough, the ditch that you sort of made, and it's obviously filled up quite a lot with sort of water, but Mav has kind of opened the space out a little bit. He's when I say planted some flowers, he's kind of taken clods of dirt with a flower in and just kind of like patted it down into the earth next to it and stuff. But on one side of this little pool, there's like a little kind of hut type thing that's poking out of the water. It's really slapdash, but this little hut that sort of pokes out above the water has little crab claws coming out of it, sort of like made of wood, and on the front is like engraved really messily the word Jacques, and then underneath it says, I am Jacques, who walks the shore and pinches toes all day. If I were you, I'd wear some shoes and not get in my way. And I kind of go, I made a thing for Jacques. I've been trying my hardest to keep him away from this place, but because I want it to be a surprise for him. But I wonder whether you think he would like it.
Well, I mean, Jacques ain't never had a home.
Well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be a home for permanence. It just.
I think I'm gonna do like a fucking the sort of whistle that Nikki can't do, and by that I mean any whistle, but like a and call Jacques.
Jacques was like sat next to the well in the homestead, and so you hear the skittering from inside, and then you just see half of Jacques like poke out from the side of the homestead, like looking.
I think because of the rain on the tiled sections, it takes Jacques a bit of time to get the momentum to move forward, like a cat on lino, just like
a cow on lino.
Hat.
I think.
I imagine that Jacques would enjoy anything that he thinks has been made specifically for him.
Yeah.
And that I don't. Hey, dear viewers, I don't like doing anything useful in downtime.
Okay, well let me add some spice.
Let me fuck you up.
That time that you were talking about, how you were spending quite a lot of time at the cottage at the lighthouse, and you take some evenings there. One moment. One of the nights that you are there and sleeping, you dream. You see flashes, glimpses of that grey, thin man. He is reaching out to you through those rusted bars, a thin, dirty arm, his face, a picture of desperation, a man who has not felt contact with another being in so long. You remember that face he gave you as you ran towards him straight into the ward. Flash, you see yourself reach back for him, wanting to break through the warding, wanting to reach through the bars, wanting to give him the thing that he's asking for, wanting to give him human contact, tiefling contact. Flash, you are in an embrace with him. Your face is on his thin chest. His arms are around your shoulders, and he presses a kiss onto the top of your horned head. And you wake. And you find, as you stand and you look out, there's been rain, there's been a storm. You can see that some of the trees, some of those kind of reedy, coarse trees that grow despite the battering winds, have been pushed around by the storm, and you see a book in the foliage.
I don't love that at all. I'm gonna go over to the book. I'm gonna pinch myself first, Lydia.
Yeah, you pinch yourself and you pick up the book. It says Summer with Succubus by Zilly Chloros.
Can I open up the book and to the front sort of what do you call it? First page.
Yeah.
Just see if there's any kind of.
It is in every single way the book that you published, except one vital detail where they used to say Maverick Spells, it is replaced with the name Zilly Chloros.
Okay. I take the book, go back into the little hut at the base of the lighthouse, put it carefully on the table, and cast Detect Magic on the book.
You put the book on the table and you stand back looking at it, concerned about the meaning of what you've seen. And you pace the room a bit, taking your spell book out, flicking to the page for Dispel Magic. And when you look up to cast the spell, the book's gone. Did I say Dispel Magic? Detect Magic is what you said.
Yeah, detect.
That D magic.
Does it? I would assume it doesn't. Sorry, you've flustered me. Funnily enough, I would assume it doesn't change.
As you cast the spell anyway on the spot where it was, and what you get is this. What is now to you? I imagine. Tell me if I'm wrong. This familiar network of arcane lights that you saw that very first time that you have been doing. You've been doing this a lot because you've been really curious about the lighthouse and the magic that's involved in the lighthouse, and all the arcane energy that flows in and out of the lighthouse and around it, which is comprised of so many different kinds of magics. You're so used to it now, and that's all you get is that when you cast that spell in the cottage that's attached to the lighthouse.
I think as I've been doing for a while now, sort of whenever I have a spare spell slot, as I kind of sit back on the bed, next to me is the silent image of Euphoria. I go, Am I going absolutely fucking mad?
She smiles blankly at you.
Because
Seems like she's...
it feels as though I'm going fucking bonkers. I mean, I have read so many books about people's conscience making them see things, and I know that I've done wrong. I know that I maligned poor Silly. I know that. So why is my brain tormenting me like this? And I look at her.
That blank, empty smile looks back at you.
And I snort in disgust and wipe my hand through the air and dispel the spell.
Now, with that, you have time fixing the parts of the lighthouse. Elaborate on that as to what it is that you're trying to achieve.
I think first and foremost, the glyphs at the top still hadn't fully been fixed. I want to get one of the days I'll get CC to come and help with fully fixing the glyphs at the top of the lighthouse so that it's not in danger of kind of failing in that sense.
Roll me an Arcana, please, or an investigation, but tell me which you're rolling.
Oh, okay. Well, it's going to have to be Arcana, I think. That's 17 plus 7, so 24. Gorgeous.
You realize, you've now spent, a month and a bit trying to read that manual and understand the lighthouse as much as possible. With the added information that you now have about what's at the bottom, it's like an element that wasn't necessarily in the handbook because people don't go down that. But you realize that both things need to be done at once to do a proper job.
Okay.
And here is what needs to happen between you and CC. You have to, you knew this before, you have to create the fantasy equivalent of like what am I thinking of? Polyfiller.
Yeah.
You have to create a bit of mortar and you have to fill in the scratches. You have to you have to do it perfectly, as well as the grooves with which the glyphs sit inlaid into the stone, and you have to let it dry perfectly. Then you can use chalk and ground geode dust in order to redraw the glyph, and then you use your spell work to cast magic into the glyphs. So
cool.
You can use, the first stage is the mortar. You don't need to do the mortar down below, but you need to do the mortar up above.
Cool.
I don't know how this is gross, but it is somehow. And so I can see that he's got his finger up, but I think you can use whomever, knowing with that information, you can get assistance from anyone that you want in your tasks, but we're going to need rolls for how well you do the patchwork on the stone.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely think this when I said CC, I just meant CC was the person who I'd already spoken to, but with all of this prior knowledge, I think this would be a 3-person job, and I think one morning this would be like the first thing that I would want to do. So I think I'd probably get Elle to help with the mortar.
I think Elle's the only thing that Elle can justifiably help better than Cece on is getting into the lake and getting some clay up from the lake bed to use as polyfiller rather than.
Yeah, I think with that, what I'll allow with that is knowing that you are a coastal ranger will automatically give Tom an advantage. So if you could, if you can roll it's probably sleight of hand is the best one.
Oh, for me or Tom?
No, Tom.
Oh, I was about to say.
Oh, okay, cool. I rolled an 8 plus 2. So, but in a strange moment of kind of clarity, I see. Oh yeah, thank you. Forget I said anything. Oh, that was a 19, so 21. Gorgeous. You Thanks,
you get into this, like, you've been getting into your handiwork, and you get this like meditative state as you're using a fine like spatula to push this clay into the markings. You've carefully like lowered the warding around. This is all very delicate work, and you put the mortar in. Now, you know what? Get your dice out, Lydia. You're playing fucking Dungeons and Dragons. Jesus.
Get your dice out.
Go on, Liz, get your dice out.
Get your dice out.
That evening, you have to let it dry overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So you go. It's a rare evening where it is neither, because though I said it rains pretty much perpetually, if it had rained, it would not have dried overnight, but I just rolled and it did not that night. So you walk back to the homestead to let it dry. And because I'm a raging bitch, that night,
we all die.
That night, you're thinking a lot about the lighthouse. You're thinking a lot about how, worrying about how you had to meddle with the glyphs in order to get that mortar in. And you dream. Yeah. Welcome to the fucking Oracle, buddy.
I almost broke in the first one.
You are your sunbird. Nope, firebird. Whatever the fuck. Red bird with a long beak. And you are flying around the islands fast. You are small and you are fast, and the winds are buffeting you because in your dream it is a terrible storm. There are terrifying high waves crashing down on the island, battering the coastline of the archipelago. Flying over the Temple Island, you see on the north side as 70-foot waves crash into the rock. You see Elska standing. She has her arms raised to the thundering heavens, and she is screaming a word in a language that you don't understand. You fly on towards the lighthouse. Lightning is striking, hitting trees. And of course, it is hitting the lighthouse over and over and over again, with it being so tall. And through the thunder and the sound of storms and the cacophony of everything, you can hear the screaming of a man. And you wake in your bed, and you open your window, and on the windowsill, next to the now flowering black rose plant, is a book.
I look at the book.
Meet Me in Arroway by Zilly Kloros.
May I insight the dream?
Yes, of course. I mean,
because what I'm getting right now is what Mav is thinking currently is that's wrong. I rolled a 5, but I actually rolled a 16 because portent. So it's still only a 14. But what Mav is kind of thinking right now is that, first of all, is there a storm outside right now?
No, it's raining, like that sort of soft, delicate rain that you get where it's quite dark. So it doesn't have that fresh, bright morning feel. It's dark, but the rain is really soft and just like really drenches you through. But there's a good smell in the air, seeing as you've thrown these windows, your shutters open.
Tom is currently worried that my whole knowledge and world of this place has been kind of wrong, and that Elska is not just a slightly scary little lady, but actually the person who is trapping the tiefling down below. But I think I rolled a 14.
Okay. And that is to insight your own thought, your own dream.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'll give you, because you don't get any pluses, right? To that.
I've minused it, so it's from a 16 down to a 14.
Okay. You sit there on your bed with the windows open and the soft sound of the rain coming through, thinking about the dream that you've just had, and you think about Elska, who was you met her once when you were brought back from death, and you were looking at her, and she told you to be more careful. And when you think of her now, you feel frightened.
Oh, man.
The way that she screamed, like, if you want, I'm going to offer you this. I'm going to throw you a fucking bone.
Please fucking throw
if
me
you
a
want,
bone.
roll me a history to phonetically remember the word that the phrase that she was screaming to the heavens.
That was a 19.
Oh, yeah, you remember it. I'm not going to say it, but you remember it.
Okay.
So you have that knowledge tucked away, and
I think I don't go back to sleep. I go directly to Cece's room and just kind of like just tap her on the head twice and say the word, whisper the word. Kalima.
Cece, you wake up to this terrible noise in your ear and just the massive eyes of a quite deranged looking man. And warning breath, just like it's a sensory onslaught.
I'd say I think Cece immediately like summons her sword and is like, bloody hell, Matt, I could have chopped your head off. What's wrong with you?
Do you know that word?
What word?
Uvavu.
No. What? Why? What's it mean?
I don't know. I like this is a Mav that you haven't really like. His hair's down all around him, sort of like he's kind of like wide-eyed. He hasn't been sleeping well at all.
Okay.
Like this is kind of, and he kind of explains to you the dreams that he's been having, and explains to you that he is worried that Elska is not who this boy is clearly spiraling.
Okay.
Essentially.
Okay. All right, Matt. Breathe. I just need you to breathe and stop pacing. Right. Sit. Okay. Okay.
Look,
so you're worried that Elska's some powerful being.
This tiefling, whoever he is clearly being held against his will by someone. The only other someone on this island is Elska. Elska is who I saw when I was brought back after I saw this man for the first time, and she said that I need to be more careful around these things. I have been having these dreams, and she was the most prominent thing, and I heard him screaming. I heard him screaming.
Okay, all right, okay, and I'm not saying this to disagree with you. I'm just getting your vibe, so I understand what you're thinking. You definitely think this tiefling or this man you saw, you definitely think they're being held against their will and they should be freed, and not that like they're a prisoner here for some reason.
No, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Let's think about Let's talk this through. Okay. Let's say your gut feeling's correct, and Elska's holding this person here against their will. Okay. Why? What reason would that crazy I'm not saying this to disagree with you. I'm just trying to make sure, it is very early, Mav. But do you want to go down there again? Shall we arrange all three of us to try and go down there again and see them? Try and find them?
Yes.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay. It's fine. Sit. Okay. And Cece's just brushing his hair with her fingers to get all the knots out of it, and kind of mimic what he did for her right at the beginning of tidying him up and stuff. And it's just okay, what you gonna do? So you're gonna go try and get some sleep. I might have some stuff to help you sleep, just some herbs or something. We'll go first thing in the morning. I'll go tell Elle the plan, and then we'll go see what's happening and see if we can get any more answers, and maybe speak to this person. Then if Elska does anything weird, then we're all there. I think she really likes me, so maybe I can talk around.
I think when you start to say we'll try and find some answers, I think Mav just starts kind of laughing silently, quietly to himself, and that kind of laugh that shakes the body, so that you from behind can't quite tell whether he's sort of laughing or crying. And I think he sort of says, "It's just fucking it, though, isn't it? I've never had the answers."
Oh, hun, I don't think anyone ever really has the answers. And answers just tend to lead to more questions anyway. The real thing is about trying to solve it. And it's whether you want to try and solve it, or whether you want to run away from it. Oh, God. I really hate that piece of advice I just gave you, but...
Won't be the first time.
Look at us. Let's be honest, we're three people who've running away from something. Don't beat yourself up about it. Why? Okay, this person's down there. We may as well go see if we can find them. If not, then we put it to bed. Yeah.
You said you're going to do that tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
like
what
putting Mav to sleep. I'll take him
with
to his
that
room.
with that plan, I think what we'll do is we'll just round this out by letting you fix the lighthouse, right? I'm not popping a pin just yet, but
I don't. This is the thing. I don't actually think I want to fix the lighthouse right now. So
Okay.
I don't think I will.
Okay. But you'll just do a little bit of maintenance that day. That means that whatever you've done stays, and the mortar is set, and all of that kind of stuff.
I'm fully Pepe Silvering right now, and That's I'll maintain, but that's about it currently.
Okay. In which case, I will pop a pin. Pop it a pin.
Yeah.
Just so we can get people, so that everybody going on this thing has had an experience up to that point. Che-che.
Che-che, that's me.
Tell me a little bit about what your downtime feels like.
Oh, okay. So I've made myself a list so I won't forget some things. Obviously, the main thing is like that early on is checking on Joltish, making sure they're okay, making sure they get back to full strength.
Yeah, I mean, you that area, you now know where their bedroom is in that labyrinth, and coming back to it the very next day, you're reminded that you went one path in this crazy like honeycombed like maze, underwater maze, and then that way back, and you haven't, you've not really, you don't know those tunnels very well, but you of course do find your way back, and you see Joltish just still lying, sleeping on the bed, tentacles like floating through the water restfully, and it is like that for some days before you get those eyes open and acknowledge you, and their hand goes out, this hand which looks so fine and delicate, and then as it rests on yours, you realize is actually dwarfs yours. Because
it's Beauty and the Beast, right?
It is Beauty.
Yeah. I'm with you.
And a smile radiates over that strange, inky face. Cecilia.
Hey, how you feeling?
They took my skin. But if I sleep a lot, I think. Thank you. Thank you.
You don't thank me, because I'm glad I came, but I feel like I didn't really come quick enough. But
you see their eyes are like darting around the room. I lost my lair.
is this your lair?
And you just sort of see that they put their hand to the stone, and it just feels like that all of that slime, green slime that was sort of coating everything, you see their face look so sad at it, and even where there's just bare rock, it's you see this pained expression on their face as their room doesn't look like their room as they'd left it.
Oh, it's noticing this. I think Cece's fully that kind of person. It's like, well, and like gets out like a rag and starts like trying to clean some of the slime off. It's like, you know, maybe it's just a time. It's a chance to redecorate. You know, we can make it all nice. You know,
They like a languid tentacle wraps around your waist and turns you around, and he goes. They go, I'll do that. And sort of falls back into a sort of trancing sleep. And I don't know, you tell me, but I think you realize that it's nice to keep them company, but there's not a lot of use to just sitting while this being is sleeping.
I don't. I think Cece really doesn't want to fall behind on any of her duties, and is like got a new vigor of like, I can do things, I can do it, I can be useful. So yeah. I imagine it's more like she pops in a couple of times a day and just leaves something there, so they know that she's been. And because one of the other things,
I'll just quickly interject and say that on about the second day, as you're coming up out of the water, you see Anya on the beach, and she, hi, I didn't know if I could maybe get a little of your time.
Of course.
I know you're so busy, but look, we have to go. We have to find someone who can help Shay. There's a city a few weeks swim from here. It's called Diraha. I mean, maybe, I don't know why I'm telling you, it's not like you can come, but just in case, you'll know where we are. We might swing back after, maybe.
I mean, don't, like, it would be lovely to see you again. You know, I have got so many books to lend you. You really need to read Mav's work. It's so good. Look, we're stuck on this island for like 11 more months. So, you know, we'll be here probably.
I had a few things that I kind of needed to. Shay's not in a good place at all.
Okay.
I'm sorry that you haven't seen him, but he's, you know, he is someone who, he's so in his body, you know, he's so in control, and he's so physical. And he's not. He doesn't know what's going on in his body. I mean, he does. He basically does, but he's in denial.
Right.
He has to be in the water most of the time. He doesn't breathe very well out of the water now. And he is not handling it at all well. He feels, I mean, I can't even imagine really what he's going through, but for someone who is so in his body, he doesn't know what's going on in there anymore. And so, but anyway, I wanted to talk to you because I wanted to say thank you. You know, you trusted me enough, despite me being a raging bitch, to fight by your side, saving someone that's clearly really important to you. And in doing so, you gave me a very valuable gift. Oh. You know, I'm very clever.
If you say so yourself, yeah.
and I find, you know, in the same way that Shay trusts his body, my mind is a sanctuary for me. And so when I was brought up with this idea of like, you've got this gift, it's your responsibility to now like give that gift to everybody else at any given, you know, it's your duty. I was like, no, fuck off. But actually, you know, thinking I was going to die, I thought, Yeah, I like that because it's for this strange creature that means so much to Cece, and my heart just feels really full, and that's because of you.
Oh,
So I thank you. I get it now. You know, we went to go and learn this thing, and Shade already learnt it, and I was like, "Fuck the world!" But you taught it to me.
wow, I
So
don't
thank
think I've
you.
ever taught anyone anything like that before. So, firstly, I guess you're welcome. Um,
I bet you teach people things all the time. It's just you don't value the lessons that you teach.
oh, mate. Oh, yep. That's something I'm gonna think about later. Um, not dwell on.
Oh,
But look,
I I got a couple of gifts for you to say
oh,
thanks.
oh,
And she pulls this like silver band off her finger. I'm afraid I really don't have a ring for you this time. I know I'm usually throwing rings at you, but this
give me
time
You
there's
have a
more.
ring.
I
the
know.
physical
Give me
ring.
another one.
You have a ring from this campaign.
You get
cannot-
one ring a campaign, one ring. Um, it is like it's a silver, thick, chunky silver band, and it has three blue sea glass gems in it. Not gems, it's sea glass. Um, and she says, you know, I use this on you. You know, we're kind of given these things. I'm not going to lie to you. Me and Shave are from a really rich family, so I can just buy another one of these. But
Oh,
we're given these when we go on this journey because we're supposed to like help people that might be drowning, that have fallen from boats or whatever. But we've got like things to do, so I'm going to give it to you.
right, thanks.
If you want to look up Mariah's Little Helper, it's there
Oh,
in
okay.
the D&D Beyond.
I'll look that up in a second.
Like basically, you can cast Alter Self on yourself or other people 3 times a day.
3 times a day.
Yep.
That
Yep.
is very useful. Okay, cool, cool.
And she
cool,
says, "Look, I'm sad I didn't get to speak to Matt, but he didn't want to speak to me anyway, I wouldn't imagine. So would you mind giving him this?" And she hands a necklace over that has like a monocle on the end of it.
Oh.
And
I feel bad that she didn't think I wanted to speak to her.
she stole your flask. She doesn't.
Oh yeah,
think-
the fucking bitch.
And I didn't really speak to Elle, but if you could give him this, and she hands over this little like pouch, like envelope-looking pouch with it's like an envelope-looking pouch with like a little, almost like a pencil holder in the
I
side of
can't
it.
believe I got a fucking gift card.
You got a pencil.
I got an Amazon voucher.
So like tell him, because I hadn't written down any instructions, but Shay told me that the lads smoke of an evening, and
They
this is
do.
what we smoke down there, and I didn't know if they fancied it.
Alright.
It's pretty cool, but I think you can, if you're on land, you can chew it, but it does tend to make it stains your teeth a bit. But if you're underwater, the pipe in the side, you can inhale it through the pipe.
It's
It makes a
bubble
bit of
pipe.
but like it's really nice. I like it a lot.
Congratulations, mate. You got a bong.
It would be very dank.
Yeah.
The
It's
dankest.
crack. This is the end of your life. And also, I know this is really stupid, but I found this bit of glass in the sea, and I thought the Jacks might like it. And it's like a really pretty piece of like smooth glass with a hole in it. I don't know. I see him sometimes when I'm out there looking at the islands, and he's just like stacking stones. So I thought I'd give him a pretty one to put on the top.
That's very nice of you, Anya. I
A bit
appreciate all
stupid
these
now.
gifts. Huh?
I feel a bit stupid now.
No,
but
no,
you did...
no. This is what making friends is, right? You made friends with us.
I don't think I'd know. I've only got one friend, and it's my brother. So
No. You...
Hi, I'm your friend. I don't have any
Yeah.
friends. It's basically
No.
what you just did.
Yeah, I was like, oh, right. No, I'm your friend now.
Oh, okay. That's
If you want to
I
be my
will-
friend, I mean, you don't have to, but that will be a bit like the raging bitch thing you were just talking about.
Okay, we'll go ahead and say that we're friends,
Yeah.
and I think in the meantime I'm going to have a big think about the fact that I've now got friends, and so I've got some new stuff to think about. So thank you so much.
That's all right.
He absolutely just fobbed you off, mate.
Yeah.
He absolutely just went, yeah, thank you, mate. Cheers.
Oh my god.
And I really did want to read some of Mav's books, but none of them were waterproof. I kept telling Shay if he could nick some for me, but none of them, I think they'd all go to pieces in the water.
Mav used to sell the splash card separately.
So, and she like pauses for a bit, and like you see her like her kind of aubergine colored foot like digging through the sand of the beach, and then she just like lunges for you and hugs you really really tight.
I hug her back, yeah.
So I'll you know, maybe I'll see you after we get Shay all like.
Yeah, I just
Grand.
you know, tell him I'm really grateful to both of you. I don't think that would have gone so well if neither of you had been there, and you know, I definitely feel a little guilty that Shay's going through this kind of because of me, but I
wish you wouldn't. I wish you wouldn't. It's literally what we're born to do, is to help people, and you know, it is sad that we've done a bit of a reversey thing. You know,
Yeah.
he's starting to doubt for sure the mission, but he'll come around. He just needs to. He's having a bit of like confusion at the moment, and he'll work it out. But good luck. And this place is fucking wild. I can't get my head around these islands and how they're still standing in the middle of the ocean like this. But
yeah, it's like really odd, isn't it? Like if you,
it doesn't make sense at all. But you know, maybe we'll talk a bit more about that when we're back.
Yeah, and if you're going to the city, can you like, you know, if anyone there, if you happen to ask anyone and they're like, oh yeah, that island, I can tell you more about it, will you just like let us know? Because you know, maybe someone else knows something.
And if it, you know, do you want me to keep all your names secret?
Oh yeah. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. What I mean, I'm not going to tell anyone, you can trust me, but what's your second name?
I'm not going to tell anyone, you can trust me, what's your second name?
But what is your name? Oh, it's Akavea.
Okay. I don't know how to spell that, but I'll do it like phonetically or something.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
why you don't need to know how to say it.
I don't know if I can hear someone talking behind a rock somewhere. I'm gonna go. It's got awkward. But I'll see you again.
It's not awkward. The fact that you said it's got awkward is what makes it awkward, but it's fine. You'll learn it.
I ruined it again. Bye! And she sprints into the surf and dives into the water and it's gone.
Oh, that girl.
Okay.
Cool. Well, that was on my list of things to do, was check in with them. So that's that done.
Okay.
I'm really sorry. I just had stuff.
That's all right. You keep going. Mav, if I'm guessing you give that monologue. I mean, you can fucking decide to pocket that, all of that stuff that she gave you.
Yeah, fuck these guys. I'm taking it. No, I will. Maybe one evening when I try and get all of us together, because I've got the orb and quill as well that I found, which I'm now thinking is Joltish's.
Nicked his diary and pen and like what?
Wait, but he's still asleep at this point, so I don't know.
You're gonna read
his diary. I met Cecilia. She's so cool.
Yeah, I will give them their stuff. Yeah. Oh god, I forgot. Yeah.
Tom, you can look up Monocle of the Bookworm.
Thank you.
Basically, once you've attuned to it, you get advantage on investigation checks that are written when you're like looking through the monocle. It's very pretty, but when you're like reading through the monocle, you can investigate books more easily.
Such aesthetic vibes as well. Excellent. Thank you.
Elle got seaweed.
He got some really sweet smoke leaf, underwater smoke leaf, and you barely said a word to her, so I think that's pretty good going.
I wasn't expecting anything.
The other thing I wanted to do in the downtime that I'd probably ask Elle for help with is I'm proficient with a herbalism kit, but I don't have one. So I'm wondering if during this downtime I could essentially put a couple together, like one for Cece to take with her and one for at the house, like a first aid kit.
Roll. I think the easiest thing to do is to roll your herbalism proficiency.
Can I help basically to
with
make
survival?
make a mortar and pestle out of like wood?
You could. Yeah. Are you saying wood because you've got like wood proficiency or something?
What am I rolling?
It just wood's a sustainable material.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You get wood and mortar and pestle. You have to oil them.
Yeah. You do. Yeah. Just so much more common to get it in stone. But, I'm not arguing.
I'm not a stone carver.
I'm simply not arguing. It's great. You've got a lovely wooden mortar and pestle, and so that can be part of one of the kits.
Cool.
And then if you roll with proficiency for each you can roll it as many times as you like, but in my head I'm tallying how much time that takes, and how much of this downtime it'll be kind of taking up.
Yeah. Well, so here's why I wanted Elle's help. As much as I love this mortar and pestle, is hear me out. Cece knows what she needs, but she wouldn't know where to find it necessarily. So if I could be like, Elle, I need
foraging and stuff.
Kit, she wants herbs
for the herbalism kit.
Right, when you said I need to make a herbalism kit.
Yeah, I meant like I need to get all the like stuff together, like the herbs together, because that's what.
I won't lie, mate.
Kit, right?
Like Mav just has so many pouches, like that he doesn't have anything to do with. Like you can have a pouch. It's like
you need like a satchel that opens up. You need lots of little tubes, and then it's about kitting it up with all the stuff that you forage and dry them out.
Yeah. Because
tinctures of things.
Doesn't Mav have like proficiency with like tailoring tools and stuff or something? Because you made Cece's Hessian sack swimsuit.
I suppose that was far more just flavour than it was anything else.
I think it was a gag.
Then Cece's gonna fashion herself something and ask Elle for help with getting the herbs to stock it.
Then you can roll with advantage.
Thank you. 19.
Gorgeous. You have one lovely herbalism kit.
Perfect.
I'd say you could probably max out at 3, just because, like, how many fucking little glass bottles is this island going to have?
Yeah, I don't necessarily want loads. I just wanted, like I said, one for... If I can do 3, great. One at Lighthouse, one at the Homestead, one for Cece to carry around.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. So you got 1.
17.
That's another one.
And another 17.
You got 3.
Cool. Beautiful.
That's nice. And I would say, is that kind of the stuff that you wanted to bring to Downtime?
Yes. Other than that, Cece is just working very hard on
and the things that I'll add to that is this.
Oh.
Some weeks pass. You're doing all the stuff that you're extremely busy. You are it is the time of year when you need to harvest. Winter barley is this quite tough dusky purple grain that needs harvesting, needs milling, and then often you need to make like that hardtack bread out of it and then baking. So it's a lot of work that needs to go into making winter barley bread, winter barley blah blah blah, all with this like dusky purple hue to it. So very pretty but hard work. and doesn't taste absolutely amazing unless you put a lot of herbs in with it. And you sort of find yourself on the other side of a few weeks, and Joltish is making great leaps and bounds in their recovery, to the point where you're starting to see around their room that the walls are mirroring that element of their skin that is like when you get oil on the surface of water. You know, there's this beautiful multicolored swirling feel to everything as the natural power starts to come back to them and radiates out onto the stone. And they start to kind of swim out from their room to meet you sometimes, and just gently trying to get a little exercise. And they talk to you, you know, when you have time spare. I mean, maybe you just want to go, all right, you're fine, I'll go. But I imagine there might be a little chat.
Yeah. She'll do the equivalent of like when someone's in recovery and they need to do like a lap of the garden. She'll walk with them.
And there is a time when you're doing like one of the first laps outside of those tunnels out in the ocean water, and they start to talk to you about where they came from. And it's this slow, steady stream of words in the way that Joltish talks, which is very kind of breathy and whispery. So I won't do it because you simply won't hear it. But they were born in the Shadowfell, but they always felt unlike all the other creatures there. It almost didn't fit that they were born of despair like everything else in the Shadowfell. And once they'd grown, they started trying to escape constantly, trying to find ways out, trying to communicate with people who slipped and found themselves there, tried to question people, tried to help people that were fighting for their lives in this strange place, tried to get stories of how to get back. But being somebody that's predominantly in water, it wasn't easy. And every time they tried, they failed, and often pursued by their fellow creatures of the Shadowfell. And then one attempt they made during a storm, they escaped through a gate, one plane to another, and they were helped by Elska, who told them that they were too soft for the Shadowlands and gave them a name, Joltish, which means ugly.
Unbelievable. When I was writing up for the episode the other day, I googled the name to check the spelling, and it came up like means ugly, and I was like, Lydia, how dare?
Elska gave them that name.
Right, Elska's horrid.
You're on my side now.
Yeah.
They never really understood why Elska helped. Never understood why they were different from anyone else. They've never seen Elska show kindness or consideration to anyone, and yet she pulled them through that gate and let them live here.
Can Cece do a little bit of digging and just ask, like, you know, sort of like how long ago was this, and like what you know, so why do you stay here? Like, trying to Cece's getting the vibe of like hearing that story. I think Cece is used to hearing of people like Elska in that thing of going, okay, Elska wanted something. if someone doesn't normally help out the goodness of their heart, then you were useful in some way. And Cece's trying to find out whether that was just Elska was lonely and was like, sure, this is easy, I'm going to help you, or like trying to find out what that might be.
Their reply is very much that their life was incomplete. They stay because now they feel like they have a purpose. They are not good in light, like they are literally created to be in the shadows. So they don't love the sunlight, but they have this joy that comes with the beauty and light of the island. So they undergo the kind of difficulties of light despite it. And they say that Elska forbade them to interfere in the lives of the people who live here, and that she was extremely angry to find out that they had given you power. But they are unrepentant. It's the first time they've ever not done what I'm making it sound like they're fucking best buds. They don't spend time together. Right. She does her thing, they do theirs. They are underwater. They are not in contact with each other. They are simply co-inhabitants of the island.
Okay.
But they stay because they love this bright, beautiful place that and they say, can you not feel how special this place is, how beautiful, how alive it is? And giving you power is the final piece of the puzzle. They feel that they had never done it before.
Wait,
and
I'm Joltish's like first patron.
Yeah.
Oh, and I messed up so much.
They explained to you that they'd never been strong enough, and the only thing missing from their life was that they were alone, because they didn't interfere in the lives of the people who lived there. But they often liked to try and peek out and like astrally watch people coming to the island. And then your journey was particularly fraught. It's like they explain it like Tish was particularly cross. And when they saw you pale and beautiful in the dark water, it was like the most natural thing in the world to hand over part of their power to you. And it left them incredibly weak. That's why they were so susceptible to being grabbed by the Sawagin, is they had ripped a part of themselves out to spark the power within you. And they were resting when the Sawagin came and grabbed them. They were like powerless to be like, for them to stop. But they feel now like now that they're on the road to recovery, like, this is the final bit of the puzzle. I've done something, they have almost like paid it forward. Elska helped them, and now they've helped you.
And I helped Joltish back, so we're all even. Done.
She says nervously, not wanting the ledger to be uneven. But they talked to you a little bit about when they saw you, and that your face was so stricken with despair in that moment. That they see people die in the water a lot. They are a sea creature from the Shadowfell. They know what people's last moments look like, and they explain that everyone who dies radiates. They radiate with all the things that death robs of them. All the plans that they had that have been taken, even the plans they hadn't made yet, all the things that death robs is written on their soul when they die. And for you, it was a scream. It was so bright. It was so painful. And they describe it as their first truly selfish thing, was that they wanted you, to help you, to be with you, to see you again, to hold your hand. And instead of just taking you against their will, they gave you the power to look after yourself. And they look at you and say, you know, and you have truly thrived.
I mean, yeah, I guess I have, sort of. Can I insight check my own patient?
Yes, you can.
If
Oh,
I
I'm
can
not very
insight
good at
check
it.
dreams, then yeah, I don't see why not.
14.
Their face is very hard to read,
Okay.
but they're not really trying to hide anything from you.
Yeah.
Their face is very peaceful and very full of love and grateful. And actually, the more you try and tune in, you see the like the movement, the swirling of that like color through their skin, and how it like it swirls in a different way as they feel different emotions. You're just starting to tune into the way that they are. And but you there's nothing there. It feels so honest. There's nothing there that you can decipher that feels dishonest in any way. It feels almost like so raw
Yeah.
and truthful that it's sort of you know, it's quite a lot to take in.
Yeah. I think Cece's just hasn't had someone like that around her in a long time. That is sort of like, wait, what is this?
They just say, I have a legacy now. That is a gift.
And that's me. Or are you going to give other people powers?
I don't think so.
Oh.
You will carry a part of me with you forever, Cecilia.
Oh, okay.
And with that, you've sort of done a loop round, and you're back at the doorway again. And they smile, that kind of peaceful, almost melancholy smile, and like that whooshing kind of swim that happens. They go back, and something in that big admittance, that big kind of confession. From there on, as they start to get better and better, you swim further. They show you little corners of each of the islands that you never have quite seen before, little caves that are like really hard to access, and little like clusters of animals that live in certain areas that don't like come out to other areas, like all the little tiny secrets, watery secrets of the island. Cool. So I know it feels very much like like you get this real cute moment and you get gifts and stuff, and everyone else gets.
Look, Cece faced her problem, so she gets rewards.
It's like a reward.
Hang on. You faced your. How have you faced your problem?
All my problems are
is
gone.
Your wife here?
All my problems are gone.
Have you apologised for running away from? Anyway.
Hell.
Sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
So I think in lieu of any, I think it was maybe day 4 that Elle planted his remaining stash of halfling smoke leaf, Kush. Given how rainy it's been, Also, just when at the beginning, when you were talking about how it's been storms and rains, but it's actually been really bracing and really nice, and the air is really clear. In my mind, that was what Elle was saying, while Mav and Cece are just like sopping wet and also, Elle doesn't wear socks, so he has none of. Considering all of the problems that you had were sock based, he's fine. all of the negatives to it raining for you were sock based, so Elle's great.
I don't know. You got some pretty pruny toes. That's the grand summit of your issue.
So yeah, Elle's gonna go and get. He's gonna like harvest the halfling leaf, and then I think the first night before he dries out the rest, he's gonna make like a mint nettle tea out of it. Just for everyone.
Lovely.
But also, while it's been this way, he's not been fishing in the hope that it would give the sea time to like recuperate. But he's been hunting the turkey in the little forest that's on the farm island. Not that it's difficult to hunt a turkey. They're so fucking. I imagine these are closer to like peafowl or something, but even still, idiot birds. And then, so early on, when Mav borrows Jax to be a ropeman, I think. So yeah, we'll have like a halfling. We'll have like a nettle tea of. In my head, it's a bit like oxycontin. That one? What, that one? Yeah. You're right, Lydia.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around it. You've made Oxycontin tea.
No, it's in it does the thing that Oxycontin, not necessarily as potent, but like
it brightens you up.
Yeah. Like it doesn't do like it's not like a psychedelic. It's not like a depressant. It's like a
I'll tell you what, mate. If all of my dreams are because of you,
well, that might be interesting. So when Mav has Jax to be crab rope, I think Elle is going to skulk off to Elska Island. I'm gonna kill Elska. No, I don't know if Lydia's frozen or just fucking.
I think she's livid. I think she's livid with you.
Just complete side note.
No, my internet's unstable.
It's fine.
My internet's unstable, but I can come back.
Just give it a couple seconds. Give it a couple seconds. It always says it lasts like 20 seconds.
My favourite thing, every single time, my favourite thing is when she goes, I think I'm back. Like, it's without fail. I think
livid.
she is back now.
Absolutely livid. Right, I'm here.
That's fine. I was going to go off on a little tangent about internet freezing, but it's all good. So, yeah, I think he's going to sail over to the island.
Mm-hmm. The Temple Island.
The what?
The Temple Island.
I mean, maybe I've not seen the temple, so as far as I'm aware, it's the island where the old bitch is and the ghost are trying to kill me. So, I think he's gonna like go to Av's shrine, and then leave. You
just see M scrawled in front of the AV. So sacrilegious.
He's gonna like leave an arrow that he used to get like that night's like turkey, but also a bundle of turkey feathers. Because if you don't know, turkey feathers make the best arrow flights. Because I did a research, and then he's gonna like wander into the forest just like a little bit, and then sit cross-legged on the floor and pull out a big like motherfucking like Gandalf pipe, like a huge elven like smoking pipe, like ridiculous. Which he only uses for smoking smoke leaf, and basically sit and very patiently wait for a ghost to attack him.
Okay. You sit and you smoke, and this day is it's light on rain, but it's a little windier. So it picks up that like light drizzle and pushes it through the trees, ruffles your hair. keeps pulling at your hat. But you ignore all of that external stuff and you just keep smoking and you keep listening out. And you have a moment of like, you shut your eyes and you're just tuned into the sounds of the trees and the rain and the wind and the rustling of the leaves. And when you open your eyes, something feels extremely different. Can you please roll me a nature check?
Really, just put in the chat, take a penny, take an arrow, leave an arrow, which is exactly how
She's got it. She gets
our
it.
shrine works. Which is fun. It's fun. I assume I don't get my little coastal buff.
You did say you walked into the wood.
Yeah, well, I've got an 18, a 15 on the dice plus 3.
Suddenly that wind smells different and is calmer, and the air suddenly becomes warmer. And when you open your eyes, the light from the sun is very different, and you can smell rotten pumpkins in the air. And you stand and look about, and it is autumn. The wind is pulling the dead leaves from the trees, and you walk a little and you look out. It just, everything, like it fully, as somebody who is connected to nature, connected to the ground and the trees and the stones and the sand and the water, it gives you such a feeling of queasy vertigo that everything suddenly feels so different.
Sorry, can I just clarify? We were in winter.
You were in late winter.
So fucking nearly a full year, hypothetically, of seasons.
Yeah, right now, this is definitely autumn. You look at the brambles as you step through them, and there are blackberries, ripe blackberries on the brambles. You look at the temple that is far off on the beach, and the vines that creep around the temple, the leaves are again being whipped off by the gentle wind. And also, probably most striking of all, it is evening. The sun is setting, and when you sat down to you sat down to smoke your pipe in the morning.
Also in the winter, Lydia.
Yeah. Yeah. And there is this moment where you are walking over the kind of the crunchy underbrush, and it's almost like that autumnal wash and light and smell peels away from you, and you are back to the light that you get, that cold, low winter sun that you get even at noon in Vienna. And you know that you have, you are then back in your own place and time. For a moment, you were just seeing a veneer of something else. So there's that.
Once again, just once more. I love that Michelle's the CC's storyline has gone. Okay, cool. That's really interesting, but like we got it now. And Elle and Mav are still going.
No.
What?
Beyond that, Elle and Mav got. I came here to get like a step towards an answer, and I've just been thrown out of the car. Like,
So you have, you have your, you still got plenty of your tobacco, and you, I guess, you're specifically not learning anything this downtime as well. Am I right?
Correct.
You have left another arrow, you've left turkey feathers, you've been hunting turkeys. Can I get a survival for your turkey hunting, just so we know?
18 on the dice plus 9, so 27.
Amazing. Very easy. This is all the stuff that you do very well. We're not worried. You have had an evening of dinner and your new nettle tea. And
that's not a regular occurrence.
No, maybe it's like a version that isn't quite so like that's not exactly a sleepy time tea, is it? But you've had an evening. You have I believe that you always sleep. I mean, do you really sleep by the well when it's raining? Or do you kind of tuck yourself away out of the rain?
I think maybe I sit under the balcony of the internal balcony, but I don't go because I'm an elf, so I just need to trance.
You just trance. You are relaxing. You are laying back. You are you have been trancing. You have a sort of vague awareness always, because it's not real sleep, so you've always got a basic awareness of what's going on around you. Not great though. And when you open your eyes, just a breath away from you is the face of the elf, and you can see that he is holding a knife to your throat. And he says to you quietly into your face, "I'll kill you if it's the last thing I do. You and that fucking lobster too." And he slashes at you.
The greatest defense.
I feel like at that point, Mav gets unreasonably angry at some point in his dream. It's like...
Mav just punches the wall and wakes up and goes, "Ha!"
That is a 26 to hit.
Yeah.
What's this dude's issue? I'm angry. What's he got to come for Jax like that?
Elle, we understand, but Jax.
Yeah, I get,
You take 15 points of damage to your throat as he drags this dagger across your neck.
Right.
And the reason why, even though he is essentially slitting your throat, it does not kill you, is because as he is dragging it, you see his skin and his arms begin to become dandelion seeds and waft off into the breeze through the homestead. You were doing this.
Yeah. As he slits my throat, can I hunter's mark it?
Give me. Let's see how good your reflexes are,
Or
because I want to say
he slits my throat. It doesn't I'm not.
It just all happens so quickly. So I'll. He essentially is getting a surprise round on you and not doing any actions with the first one, but speaking, and it's all done in a second. But if you want to, because I am a benevolent DM, I will allow you roll a dexterity saving throw just to see if you can be quick enough to do something.
11.
That's not good enough. They're gone. He is gone. And you just, as he's gone, what you see, you get that thing of like your depth perception has to switch, and you just see Jax behind, like skittering forward, getting ready to like go for them. but is too late and is like nipping at the air, at the seeds as they blow away.
Can I grab any of them? Are they tangible?
That was a sound I've never heard from you.
You okay, let's see, for a narrative thing. Oh wait, what did you didn't get good reflexes anyway. I'm going to go off that last thing. You grab one and you feel like it's in your hand. It's like when you go to catch a fly and you think, yeah, got it, and you open your hand and there's nothing there.
Okay, I think Elle, I'm really sorry, Tom. Elle is going to walk upstairs and walk into Mav's room with his hand over his throat and pull at Mav's drawer to get a piece of paper out, and then
Mav's just sat in a corner of the room watching this happen.
He sort of wakes up from sucking his thumb and just goes, Elle?
Just blood coming out in between the fingers.
and I think, just out of instinct, I'm going to try and draw this person's face in my blood on this paper.
Horrifying.
That's fucking
Beautiful.
hell, dude.
This is art, guys.
It's gonna look so terrifying. And Elle's just gonna go, this is the man. And it's just gonna be like smeared blood.
Blood dries brown, you're fine.
It's still smeared blood.
Yeah, what do you want to roll? Like,
Sleight of hand.
11. See, I had a plus 7 to the other one and rolled 4. I have a plus 4 to this one and rolled 7. Fuck D&D Beyond.
This is the first time that I've ever wanted you to roll like Nikki.
Yeah, it's because whenever I use a digital roller, regardless of what it is, it fucks me.
Yeah.
It does.
It is, it's definitely Anne face.
Hi, Anne face.
Is it just a smiley face?
It's a face. It has pointy ears. It has long hair. Beyond that, you haven't sort of drawn eyelids on the eyes. They're just like, you couldn't get the detail because your fingers are so glooped up with arterial blood. But that has happened.
I think I'm going to look at it and just be like, I'm going to throw it in the fire. Like, it's just, like, crumple it and, like, put it in, like, the fire. Like, it.
Real lucky that you got some herbalism kits.
Why?
So I can heal
You don't want to heal yourself at all? You're just going to go around like gushing blood?
Oh no, like I can heal myself. Like, I'm fine. I will heal myself.
Jax.
Yeah, you get that good crab spit and you push it into your new throat mouth and it heals up. I get Tom every week, once a week.
God, that gave me, yeah.
Can we roll something to see if Mav woke up during any of that at all?
Just because
I think, considering I have implanted in Mav's story that he's having bad dreams a lot. So I would, I sort of make the executive thing that he is frequently awake.
What happens is he goes, oh no, another dream. No. That's not as good for RP.
Oh no, it's fun. Like, it was purely just the mental image of Mav seeing that is just
absolutely terrifying. Great. So with that, let's okay. Oh, I remember. Cece, you said you're going to give Mav a little sleeping draft.
Yes. I was
the
gonna...
night before you go to investigate the tunnels.
Yes, I'm gonna make Mav a cup of tea. Just try and calm him down. Get him talking about something that will take his mind off of everything. That's a bit like a bit gossipy or like. I mean, they've not had new gossip in a long time, but it'll be like, oh, did you ever meet so and so? Like, this is the last I had of them. You know, something that just distracts you and forces you to think about it a bit. And then she's gonna find Elle, and just explain. So Mav's losing it. How are you doing? Are you okay, Elle? Yeah, you did. One day you did come running at me with a bloody portrait. And since then you've not really said anything about it. So everything all right?
Yeah, it's just them. Those ghosts. They came here. They called Jax a lobster, which feels rude.
Or at the very least, just wrong.
Yeah,
It's not what he is.
I think also it's kind of like they're a bit bitter because lobsters can kind of do that.
Oh, can they?
As in walk
A
forward.
great war that is waged through the centuries between lobsters and crabs,
Yeah.
just because lobsters can walk forward.
Yeah.
They call them chitinous torpedoes, is what they call lobsters.
They do. They really do.
But yeah. Okay. So Mav's having wild dreams. Mav's feeling weird about Elska and this man down below. Did you ever see the man?
Nah, see, we went down on Mav's recommendation, but I think he got turned around. Although, to my recollection, there only appeared to be one way. So maybe there's some kind of secret door or trap door or another floor or
Right.
anything else.
All right. Well, look, Mav seems a bit frantic, and I think, I said we'd all go down there tomorrow. Just, if we all go together. I know things were a bit hectic last time you went down there. Maybe we can take a proper look, and if at the very least this man is a bit like your dandelion man, then we may have a very different issue on our hands.
I mean, if he's like the dandelion assassins or whatever they trying to, I don't think we got too much to worry about because this man seems mighty motivated, but maybe under-equipped. Because every time he lays his hands on me, he's
Yeah, it's weird. It's like it's one hit and gone. It's like,
I think more it's coming across as some sort of threat more than. Although he has been actively saying that they want to kill me, so.
Do you have any enemies? Like, is there someone out there that would want to kill you?
Absolutely no one. No, I don't. Have you ever heard of the saying "leave no trace"?
No.
It's a good kind of guide for how to treat nature when you go camping, and I just sort of live my whole life by that. And I try not to leave a trace in people's lives, in their homes, and in their minds. I just sort of.
Hell. That's.
I am the poo stick on the river of life.
Right? Okay.
Oh, I
okay.
snotted.
Just kind of riding that bad boy down and letting it, whatever may come.
All right. Well, do you want to come in? I've just made.
I'm inside. You're outside.
Yeah, I came out to get you.
I'm inside.
Oh, right. Okay. Anyway, let's all have some tea. Mav, you're here. Apologies.
Can I just say, all of this time, like I love Elle's voice. I wouldn't change a thing. Having said that, I am going to change in my head. He now sounds like Rickety Cricket when he gets his throat slit.
Well, this is what I sound like now.
Yes. Sorry. Hi. How are we?
Can I detect poison disease on the gang?
Sure.
You think it's lead poisoning?
It is, you know, I know we made a bit of a gag about Mav's liver, but you know, really everyone's fighting fit.
Cool.
And doing.
I think that's just something Elle does on occasion, just because he's pretty good at like listening to his body. I mean, he's like, oh, maybe I need to eat more leafy greens, or and I just don't know how much the shift from fish to poultry, and you know, like. I also don't know what people are putting in their mouths or touching when I'm not around, so...
That's fair.
I imagine something happened very early on where you were like, don't eat those berries, and Cece or Mav, probably both just like put them in their mouth. Immediately poisoned.
I really like the idea of Cece accidentally picking nettles. Like, ooh, a herb, and just grabbing nettles by the fucking thing, and then like pulling, and then like picking the leaves before... It's like...
These herbs are hurting me.
It burns.
Okay, well, with the knowledge though that you gave Mav a sleeping draft.
Oh, sorry, Mav.
Huh?
That night, you dream. You are falling through the sky, through clouds, wind rushing in your ears. Your stomach has that feeling of falling constantly. And you look at your arms and they are grey and white and mottled. And you look down to where you're falling to and you can't even see the ground. It's just clouds. Just passing through clouds. And looking up, you can see a dot. It is from a long way away, it actually kind of looks like a tangle of ribbons, but as it gets nearer to you, you realize it is a figure flying towards you. And then it is upon you. It is Elska. Her bony hand wraps around you and her nails pierce through your skin. Her face is contorted into this horrible sneer of pleasure as she pushes you down and speeds up your descent through the clouds. You know in this moment, as you are plummeting through the sky, that the last thing you are ever going to hear before you die is her laughing at you. And then in a second, you are sat in a cage, your mottled grey arms wrapped around your knees. There is such darkness, and you cry with desperation and loneliness. Your skin aches and itches with filth and lack of use. Elska enters the cage. You try and scramble towards the back of the cage to get away from her, but she is upon you in a flash. Her foot is on your grey and white hand, and she looks at you blankly as you hear the bones in your hand break under her foot. And you are awake. And in your hand is a book.
What's this one?
My Adventures in Astral Projection.
Has it got 2 S's in astral?
By Zilly Chloros.
I love these books. I love every single one of them.
Thank you, Rooney, for helping me with the titles.
It's a touching tale of butt stuff.
It doesn't even elicit the wry chuckle that it usually does when I read that one, the title of that one, as I kind of... Am I in my bedroom? I feel like the last.
You're on the floor of your bedroom.
Okay. Is it morning?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm completely.
You look around, you look back, the book is gone.
Yeah. Okay. I am completely sort of unlike Mav, up straight away, getting ready, getting prepared for going on this little expedition of ours. And as I come downstairs, it depends on where the other two are. But
we're going somewhere, and because of his advanced age as a man, El is up and ready. Because he must be up and ready an hour before anyone else in the house. If we're going somewhere,
He's already got the car running and he's
Yeah.
de-iced the windscreen.
he's packed. He's had his shoes on for 40 minutes.
And
Yeah.
Cece's running around doing that thing. I'm like, oh, just one more thing. Just one more thing. Oh, I forgot. I might need a hat. Do I need a hat?
You think I'll need a nail file where we're going?
Yeah. Might be in handy.
And as we're about to leave, Mav sort of turns to you both and goes, I think we might have to take the boat.
Wait, what? Take the boat?
I don't think there's any point in going to search for him. I think we need to go to Elska's.
Oh, okay.
I think we need to speak to her. We need to confront her. I described the dream. I know how it looks. I know that I look half mad most of the time at the moment, but I can only put more and more credence into these dreams, and I don't think she is what she says she is.
I mean, I've had one conversation with that lady, and she hit me 8 times with a stick, and that was apropos of not. She came out of the woods, and then she just was coming at me, like I was a drum.
Okay, what are we gonna do when we get there, though? Like, what's your... Like,
Are you walking and talking?
Yeah, we'll walk and talk.
Yeah, get in that boat and row
I'm gonna reveal the genuine joy of being in a boat and not having to row while Jax pulls, and it's A, way faster, and B, just way easier, and just everyone's face front.
Yeah. Cece's like,
I'm just
why
gonna
have I not
quickly
been
pop
doing
to
this whole time? Go.
I honestly I don't know. I have stopped pretending to know what I'm doing. I have done for quite some time now. What I do know is that what I'm fairly positive of is that she is not what she appears to be. She is not just a strange old woman. She is
That's
something.
the point I should let you know. When I spoke to Joltish, they said Elska helped them through from the Shadowfell. So, yeah, I'm with you that she's definitely, not just a normal woman.
Mav immediately regretting saying we should go and see her.
But, she sounds kind of powerful.
Just how powerful do you need to be to bring someone from the Shadowfell?
I mean, I feel like if anyone should know that, that'd be you, Mr. Spells.
Yeah. I don't really speak in these terms, but until a few months ago, I was considered a commoner. So...
I mean, yes, Spells is just a pen name.
Spells by name, not by nature.
My given name is Apothemata.
Now, but you're still Maverick, right?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm sure my parents had high hopes for me.
Wait, Spells isn't your real last name?
Honey, if you think that's a revelation, you really do have a big storm coming. Listen, I am suddenly regretting saying that we need to being so brave and being so bold. What do the two of you
Well,
suggest?
I mean, we're at the island now.
Yeah,
I
you
tell
you pull that
traveling
boat
by
up onto
crab is
the.
much quicker.
Oh shit on it. I mean, what do we do?
Well, let's look. We'll just go ask. Look. One time she did make me drink like mud water, but you know, sometimes you just gotta ask people. Okay, maybe we just go chat. We just go ask what's going on. You know, see if she'll tell us anything.
And maybe she knows something about those folks that's trying to kill me, and also why I was in a different time last time I was here.
Wait, what?
You know, I came here to like see if I could find the people that were killing me, and then all of a sudden it was autumn, so either I went back 10 months or forward 10 months. So I'm not really sure.
Alright, now how much smoke leaf have you got left?
I mean, most of it.
Alright.
I feel like you have the best relationship with this witch. This witch.
Cece, you're walking them through as you remember how to get to her. You're the only one that's actually been to her home. So
Yeah.
Can I just be on a lookout for the traps, because I saw the sorts of traps she was using last time so can I just be like, now we'll just
you're going first. Cece's like directing you from behind about whether to go right or left or whatever. Can you please roll me perception check?
Can I interest you in survival because it was trapped?
No.
Fucking hell, yeah.
And Cece, if you could roll me a survival because you're remembering the way.
Yes, okay.
Hello. What a bitch.
16.
That's good enough.
2.
No, you actually roll a 15, natural 15.
15. Thanks, Dad.
Beautiful.
Cece's not wise.
Elle is treading and then calling back, don't stand on this, let's go round this. And Cece has moments of going, yes, we definitely want to go down this way. And Mav goes, sure, and taps you on the shoulder. And then you go, no, I've got it, we go this way.
I know.
Mav can see the house at this point. He's like, no.
And you step out into this, out of the woods, and you just see the slope of the land going down in this gentle hill, and fields of produce in neat little rows, and this tumble down stone flint cottage with a thatched roof.
Is it the same sort of produce that we're growing?
Roll a looky-loo.
I mean, can I interest you in it? Yeah, sure.
We're at that stage of the campaign. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
So
Whatever
14
you
on the dice, a dirty 20.
Yeah, cool. You are treading through the rows of produce, and you take a look, and you just immediately go, tomatoes? No, they shouldn't be growing right now. There's rhubarb here. This is completely out of season. And you put your hand to the tomato because you just think this must be like rancid. And as you touch it, the moment that you touch it, it is like a shock because it is made of wood. It is a perfectly painted wooden tomato.
I don't like it.
Nope.
And then you move on to like, neat rows of, rhubarb is not neat when it's grown, but you kind of touch the edge of a leaf, and it is hard. Everything in this allotment is made of wood and perfectly realistically painted to look like the produce.
I'm gonna underhand throw the tomato to Mav. Just be like, well, Mav just drops it.
Ah! What are you doing?
Now, that's a tomato, but it's a tomato.
Oh.
What?
The tomato's
Wait.
made of wood.
Oh.
You see, as you're talking, you see the door is open and she's standing there with her staff in one hand and a mug in the other, like watching you joshing about, walking up to her cottage.
Morning, Elska. Can we have a chat? Can we have a cup of tea?
You just approach her and she doesn't move.
What are you drinking this morning? Been more of that mud tea you made me.
What do you want?
Well, me and the boys have just been chatting, you know. And you know, this island seems a little odd, and like some odd things have been happening, and you know, we thought you might have some answers for us.
I am not the person to give answers to questions.
Right. What do you know? Is there anyone else on this island who is?
Why do you want to know?
Because there's a man underneath the lighthouse, and Mav thinks you put him there.
Well, I didn't say that.
Step forward. She looks to Maverick.
Cece immediately steps out of the way, like, oh god.
He does, just sort of like looking away, kind of looking at the other two, kind of.
Step forward.
I step forward.
She takes your jaw in her hand, and you have this moment of remembering that dream, of remembering her fingernails in your skin, and you feel that cool, soft, elderly flesh. Touching your jawline. And you see her cool regard, those heavily cold eyes. And she is looking through you. I told you to be careful.
Yes, well, you didn't quite mention be careful for what. I assumed you just meant cliffs. I didn't necessarily think you meant strange old ladies with wooden gardens.
Leave.
And I look back to the other two, if she'll allow me to. Does she still have my...
Leave.
Ooh.
And in a second, she drops the mug and she swipes with her staff, and all three of you are catapulted into the air, way, way, way up into the sky, 150 feet, and you are toppling and spinning through the air, through the air, through the air.
I mean,
And-
featherfall.
Thank you, Mav. Thank you, Mav.
It fails. You go to cast it and it's fucking dud. Absolutely dud. And it is like you are catapulted way up into the sky, and as you tumble down, it is almost like you're going kind of round. And as you hit the floor, wait, put your fucking glasses on.
2 points of damage. God, so rude. I do like that Lydia specified 3. Jax is fine.
Jax is still there going.
Just backs
Jax is
away.
having to do an incredibly awkward walk to where we land.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I mean, if I've killed all of us, I can only apologise.
I mean, I feel like you're good. I feel like you can only take so much of the place.
I could take partial responsibility at the very most.
I didn't even get to ask why the dandelion ghosts are trying to kill me.
All 3 of you take 51 points of falling damage.
Lydia! Mav's unconscious, right?
She
I'm
off
unconscious.
twice.
I'm so unconscious. I land directly on my
I'm going to
face.
cure wounds, Mav.
I have a healing thing if you don't want to waste your spell.
You are far away from. You are back at the forest line. Barney, go away.
17 hit points, Tom.
Thank you.
You are back at the tree line. I don't know why the music is so cool. It's not. It doesn't feel like that, guys. Doesn't feel like that. You are back at the tree line again. You are way away from the cottage. You are far away from like her allotments, and you quickly scramble. You throw some healing into Mav. How's Jax looking?
Jax took that damage as well.
Jax went with you. All of you went.
Right.
You said 3, Lydia.
We had a whole bit about him.
I always
him
forget Jax, but he was there.
awkwardly
Everyone went.
Yeah,
Everyone
good
was.
forget Jax because Jax would be dead, like auto dead.
He. How many hit points does he have?
Not 25.
He, by my thing, he does.
I mean, I can't imagine.
Yeah, he'll have more hit points now.
There's 24 hit points. What? By your what?
By my thing here, because I wrote it down from your sheet, I have him down as having 25 hit points.
That'd still kill him, though.
Also, on my sheet it says 24. He's got 24 hit points.
But 24 or 25, it would still kill him.
51 damage is dead.
I'll roll. I will roll for Jax.
Oh my fucking god.
You're gonna do a alley and become a Gloomstalker.
Oh my fucking god.
I mean, she's definitely dead now. I was 50-50, but if she's killed Jax, then she's dead.
Can you please roll for me, from what I've rolled, off the back of what I've just rolled, can you please roll for me a wisdom saving throw from Jax? I can't imagine he's got great wisdom.
No, he doesn't.
No, 17.
So 16.
I'm going to say this. Whilst you were faffing with the tomato, you noticed, because you know him well, that Jax was not happy there. And the moment that Elska's voice became rasping and she told you to leave for the 3rd time, Jax turns to the side and just starts running in a way that you guys took a second. You were like, you couldn't work out why her attitude was so different. But Jax skittered and was not, he was catapulted, but to the side and tumbled and tumbled and tumbled and tumbled against the ground. And I will roll different damage for him because he is tumbly.
Lydia, this is That was the most scared I've ever been about a character death.
Genuinely same. I was like, no.
That's 13 points of damage to Jax.
Okay.
And he's like, now, after you guys shot up into the air and fell down and he went tumbling in his direction, you're about 40 feet away from him.
Right. Well, he's going to come to us.
She is still standing at the door, and it was already a overcast, drizzling day, but the skies begin to darken and the wind begins to pick up.
I think we just pissed her off.
I think we should go.
Yeah, that really hurt.
That's a very good point. My teeth.
I'm just going to put my hand over his mouth and do another cure wounds because I just don't want to see that.
I think we need to go. Right now.
I do too. Because. Alright, we're going. We get the message, and I'll help everyone up and like herd us out.
8 more hit points.
Thank you.
She turns, closes the door, and if anyone is looking closely enough, you just see her face in the window, watching you walk away.
I immediately regret my brazen nature this morning. I can only apologize.
How about not? Once we're on the boat and a bit further away, I was like, how about we go underneath? You guys found me. You went underneath the lighthouse, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but
yes.
when we found you, we didn't see this person, so I think either it was a one-off, or it changes, or something.
And if she's hiding them from us, and again, just because that felt like very unnecessary kind of force. What if? Look, I do trust your judgment on this, Mav, but just what if whatever's being kept in that cage is like, I don't know, dangerous? Because up until now, she's not really done anything to harm us. She's just been a bit weird. And she's tried to help Joltish before, and I'm not saying like, it doesn't make sense. It's not like she's just evil, or she's just like...
Did y'all say that the labyrinth underneath the island was Joltish's lair?
Yeah, it's like it's like their home. I think, yeah.
So if this person in this cage that Mav said he saw is in his lair, do you not think that maybe Joltish would know what's going on with it? Because I mean, like, if we had a guy tied up in our house, I feel like I'd be aware of that.
Yeah, I think
Next week, will they go down into the basement finally and realize there are 17 people?
I feel like Cece would have mentioned it before, like Mav seeing these people to Joltish, because I assume Joltish wouldn't have any idea about them. But if that's not
Wait,
the case,
you're saying to me that she asked?
Yeah, I think she definitely would have. In a kind of a in their chats, and she explains like about her days.
Just because we haven't RP'd it, I might say that when you brought it up, it was like, they have done a lot of talking to you, and they didn't mean to not answer you, but they told you a lot of information, and that wasn't part of it.
Yeah. That's fine. Then, from that, then, if there is possible stuff, then I'll say, tomorrow when I go visit them, I can go ask.
Yes, I think that might. I, I don't think we're getting any information from Elska. So yes, any information that we can find would be good.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm gonna light my pipe and hand it to Mav. My big fucking wizard pipe.
I don't know whether I've said this before, but I do not like this island.
Oh.
I mean, I was up until the other night when the dandelion ghosts came into our home. I was like, our island was fine. Like, but now I think maybe those things can kind of go wherever. But then, yeah, I'm not much a fan of that lady. She's just maybe a bit rude.
yes. Fucking rude. Right, okay. We cannot be the first people to have come into contact with these things. There must be some form of writing or
Have you checked like all the books in the library and stuff? I was just wondering if there's anything about anything.
I probably should do that. Yes. Okay. That's fucking hell. That's I think what I'm going to do. How's Jax?
I mean, he's a bit shell-shocked, if you pardon the pun, but I think largely...
I will not pardon it.
How are you looking health-wise?
He's just arms, just like... Look, I mean, the blood's on the inside, so that's kind of what matters.
Yeah, but if it's bleeding on the inside, that's still not good.
Look,
because I feel like something's broken.
We'll get back, and I'll sort you out, and I'll do a meditate, and then I'll make sure Jax can sleep.
I got
and
some
feed
kits. I got some herbalism kits so we can patch up.
All right. I'm going to say this. This will trip us into the second space of downtime.
Okay.
I feel like we've got a lot of little jobs to do.
Yeah.
So this bit of downtime is going to take us from the 3rd of Asin to the 30th of Promedia. Again, a bit more than a month. It is now summer. We're moving through spring and summer. It is hot and windy, and sunburn each day is a daily occurrence to those who are not careful or without that infernal melanin that might keep their skin safe. And now would be a fitting time to breed the farm. You have a lot of things to plant, flowers in bloom, the trees are in blossom. It is a very, very beautiful time on the island. That is the backdrop of it, because of course you're going to wake up the next day. But the one thing I'm going to say is this, before we kind of rocket into that. As always, Mav and Cece go to bed probably a bit before Elle. And, I know that you've talked a little bit about smoking on the porch and then, those sorts of little rituals that you have of peace in the evening. And you are sitting that night after the situation with Elska, contemplating what you experienced that day, feeling the pain still in your body, and you have a sudden awareness, Elle, in your body that Jax is in danger. You know where he goes. You know he has a little kennel that Mav made him that he often sleeps in. so you know where to go to. Do you run to him?
Absolutely run to him, yeah. Like,
as you turn the corner to look at that kennel, you see him, and that elf is stood on top of him with a trident jammed into the soft flesh, trying to break the chitinous shell and wrench it free, and stabbing him over and over again. I'm just going to quickly roll damage.
Because I would fire an arrow immediately.
Okay, let me just give.
I mean, am I also there as your smoking
I think Elle would say Jax and then run, and I feel like that's enough to.
Yeah.
Okay, first things first. Can Jax please take 12 points of damage?
This is the same day.
Yes, the same day.
Okay, he's unconscious.
Okay, Jax is down. Can you give me a performance roll, please, to see how loudly you shout Jax, to see whether it wakes up anyone else in the house?
Wait, sorry, is this when Mav's asleep?
Yeah, she said we're asleep, and it was before.
Oh shit.
We'd gone to bed.
I mean, I don't think he shouted. I was only saying he'd say it when I thought
Okay.
Mav and Elle would.
You see Jax's legs collapse with the weight of this man standing on his shell, and you know he's unconscious, and you sprint towards him. Would you like to roll initiative? What are you doing?
Come on, you got this. Chat's gonna riot if anything happens to Jax.
The elf gets 23 on their initiative. What did you say you got?
8.
8, okay.
Lydia.
As that moment happens, and he rides out the moment of Jax collapsing underneath him, and it looks for a second like he's going to lift the trident again to slam it into the unconscious Jax, but he sees you coming around the corner and pulls his bow and releases a shot.
Before we start dealing in numbers, so it doesn't sound reactive, I specifically said I was going to meditate. Is this later in the day enough that I would have short rested?
I'll give you a short rest.
Just that was my intention, is to not waste my spell slots, so I could.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah. Oh fuck no.
Back him up.
Oh okay.
I'm really sorry. I've used both of my fucking. Oh, I can't do anything anyway. Honestly.
No. Right. Done. I'm sorry. I used half my hit though, because that's what you can do.
It is a 17 to hit.
Hits. Sam, you've arrived at a moment. Lydia's killing Jax in front of my very eyes.
And also, hi Nat. It's lovely to meet you.
Hi.
So that's the first one. We're going. That is 12 points of damage, piercing damage on the first shot. Second shot is a 12, so I imagine misses.
Misses.
And they're going to use, they're going to get an extra in. That is 21.
Hits.
You take, as the arrow hits you, there is an explosion all around you, and you take, first of all, you take 9 points of piercing damage. I need to change my. And then also 8 points of force damage as you are blown backwards from the explosion.
Okay.
How are you looking? What are you doing?
I'm not great. Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
How far? So am I? When you say I'm blown backwards, do I have to make a save to be knocked prone, or is it that is just flavour?
No, that's just flavor.
Okay, and how far away?
They are 40 feet.
Okay, I'm going to run 40 foot and completely ignore the person on top of Jax, and I'm going to cast a second level Cure Wounds on the single companion I've had throughout my life.
you know, Lydia, that one.
I hear what you're laying down.
Honestly, Lydia, this is your second attempt to kill my crab in within an hour of real time. 1 second, and I think I can do something as a bonus action. So I've healed Jax for some, and I think Jax is going to take the disengage action because he can do that with my bonus action on a turn he doesn't attack.
You see his legs twitch, and he pushes himself up, and then he simply knocks him off and goes pushes away, skitters off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna scream. I'm gonna a full fucking Ross from Hatfields. No! As loud as I can. Because if we're at the kennel, we're right outside the house, which means we're right outside Mav's bedroom window.
Okay, well, give me that performance check that you didn't do. You never know when a voice will crack, and it'll just be air.
Oh, yeah. Hit him while he's down, Lydia. Hit him while he's down.
Listen, if I said it the first time, I got to do it the second time.
I mean, to be fair, you have made my characters shit themselves in two campaigns in a fucking row. So
I'm quite literally the worst.
And it's a 19 on the dice, but a 17 total.
Okay. That means that.
Sam, I'm a big fan of you, but if your friend is suggesting we eat Jax, I will fight them.
I think considering CC's passive perception is so low. Wait, Mavs is fucking worse.
We're right underneath his window.
That is true. It's a big homestead. Yeah, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. And there was passion in that scream. It does not wake these people that need to sleep so much. God damned mortals. So you've done an action. That was a free action.
The bonus action is for Jax to disengage,
Jax
and he's going to run his full speed away.
Okay.
That's my turn. That's movement, action, bonus action.
He is now going to, because he's been knocked off, he isn't as close to you, but he is going to, he looks at you, he gets his balance having been knocked off Jax and sees him skittering away, and then he locks onto you and just says, I fucking have you now, I'm not going anywhere. And he attacks.
How you looking, pal? Oh no.
That is a 1, but I made a choice. He uses curving shot.
Does that have to be a different target?
Yeah. So he's going to re-roll for it to see if it hits Jax.
He's in the other fucking direction.
That's what curving shot means. He is within the right range for curving shot.
What you're saying, Jax is within range of?
Yeah. But luckily, what he re-rolls is a 14 and Jax's AC is a 17. So 19. It just bounces off the top. Is Jax's AC not 17? Why is my information so fucking wrong?
I don't know. I don't know where you're getting your information from.
What is Jax's AC?
19.
Okay, then that's fine. It's more.
Yeah.
Is what I mean. Okay. He goes in for a second attack. That is 16.
Hits.
Oh, Lydia, surely, you've tortured me with dreams so far in this campaign, Lydia. Surely you can give me a good dream that gets me up for this. Surely.
Roll me disadvantage, and if you get a nat 20, you can wake up.
Oh my god, I didn't actually think that was gonna work. Well, it didn't, because I got 2 17s. Surely that counts for something.
It does not. I made the rules clear. You take 8 plus 5. Math. 13 points of piercing damage.
I'm going to roll a death save.
Yeah?
Oh!
Doing on D&D Beyond. That's a 5.
Lydia?
Can you roll another death saving throw, please? I will say at this point...
That's a 4.
Oh, Lydia's gonna let us wake up.
Using the dash action, Jax is in odds for Michelle, evens for Tom. It's a 5. I can't remember what I just said.
Odds, it's me. No, it's even.
Odds is Michelle.
Odds
Oh.
is Michelle.
You feel on your head,
Alright.
and he dashes away.
I immediately run and start yelling, what's up? And I'm like bashing on all the doors.
Okay, that's longer than a round, a single round. So we are going to need that final saving throw.
Did I not get to dashing after him?
Well, you said you started knocking on doors. That's longer than 6 seconds.
I'm not knocking on every single door in the house.
No, but if you run to go and knock on a door rather than run straight out of the door, it would have taken a full round of dash to get out and next
Then
to
I
Elle.
dash. I'll dash.
Even if she dashes, I need to roll.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do with that? I'd say this out of the house, because I'm remembering that first fight that we had when Mav woke you, and it took you more than one round to get to the shoreline where Elle currently is lying. So you could do something. If you have something at range, you can do that. What you see, I'll tell you this, as you come around the corner, if you're dashing, you come around the corner, all you see is the crab running and Elle lying on the ground.
You've got no healing, you're a warlock.
Yeah.
Let alone at range.
All I have is my healer's kit that I have on me.
What was that final death save?
And that one.
And with that moment of saving your companion rather than defending yourself, Elle dies. The last thing you see is that man's face as he drew the shot and pierced you. Is there anything that Elle does as his vision fades?
Susie is running as fast as she can.
No, I think Elle just goes.
He slips down the way like the poo stick that he
Oh
is.
fuck! I just realized I'm so. I don't think if you only had one roll left anyway,
Yeah.
right? Like.
I had one roll left, so a fail is a fail. It wasn't because it was an outlier.
And I didn't know where you were anyway.
Yeah. There's nothing you could have done.
I could have done.
It's a stretch that you would have you would have known to have taken your
Yeah, but
healer's
your
kit
dimension
anyway.
was
Like
action.
it's
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There's honestly nothing either of you could have done.
I could have.
You know,
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Mav
fucking
has
bit.
life transference, so he could have. But ifs and buts. Elle is gone. Cece, you get there in time to see his lifeless body, but you do not see the figure that killed him.
But I assume I
And
see there's wounds on him.
Yeah, you see the arrows pointing out of him.
Fuck. I think Cece immediately just starts using her kit and shakily checking over him.
As you look over him, you see that he in the way that is so Elle, you feel his forearm, maybe not his forearm, but you feel around where the arrow is. And roll me a quick medicine check. I mean, the music is too much.
17.
You feel around where, trying to work out if it's wrong to take the arrow out or not. And you realize he has 5 broken ribs from earlier in the day that he didn't fully heal himself. He was, he had a short rest and he rested, but he wasn't at he'd done the thing that Elle always does, which is I'm gonna hold my slit throat, or I'm gonna let this person stick a sword in me and just let the blood rush out of me. He was never much to mind pain, and so he hadn't fully healed from before. And there is no pulse, there is no breath. And Jax is next to you, so still. He has never stood still ever. He's always moving and bobbing, and he is absolutely still.
I think Cece's still in panic, I can fix this mode. So, and trying to be positive, so turns to Jax and is get Mav, go wake Mav up, okay? It's gonna be fine, okay? And then she's gonna start praying with all her might. She's never fucking prayed before, but she's just praying, she's screaming out for Joltish. She's praying out for she knows Elle prays to Av, so she's praying to Av.
Can you
someone help?
Can you roll a persuasion check, please?
Lydia, this is the very first full character death on our stream, as Sweet brings a new friend.
Yeah. 24.
You begin in your head. You've never been a truly devout person, so you know that the first person that you reach out to with your heart, with your soul, with your pining wish is Joltish, because you know them to be powerful. Your heart calls out to the Swift Maiden and to anyone else that might help. And you have your hands on Elle, and you just can't feel divinity in your hands at all. You don't know what healing feels like. You don't know what divine grace feels like in your hands. And Mav joins you.
No.
You can do something, right?
No.
You read all those books. You must have something. I'm new to this. I don't really know what I'm doing, Mav.
Right. I think he puts his hands on Elle's chest and casts life transference at 3rd level, just to try and do something. Come on, not fucking.
You
butt.
feel yourself wrenching health from your bones, from your muscle, from your sinew, and it hurts you. And you clearly sense, in a truly arcane way, that there is nowhere to put it.
What happened? What?
I don't know. Jax just woke me up and I just chased him out here and he was just lying here.
I'm gonna look around on the floor, see if there's any sign of anyone else, any tracks, any.
Roll perception. Oh, investigation. But tell me which one you've done.
Investigation, because I have a better score. That's a 15.
You find footprints in the sand and in the dirt that you can't account for. Elle hates shoes. He hates shoes, he hates socks, he likes to be connected to the earth, And you see the tracks of booted feet.
That's Jesus.
As well as a lot of blood, both from Jax and Elle.
Do I see where the booted feet tracks lead to, or?
No. They don't seem to lead anywhere. They just walk around. They're placed and they don't.
I think I just stand looking at the fucking hell, Lydia. Looking at the footprints in the sand. I go to Jax and put a hand on his shell, and I look up at CC and just shake my head and.
Oh. Tush, and I'm gonna grab Elle and I'll say, I'll be right back. This is all I can do. And I'm gonna dimension door 500 feet. I don't know if that will get me to Elska's Island, but...
Oh, Elska's Island? No, it absolutely wouldn't.
Then I'm gonna dimension door us, like, onto, like, the boat.
Fact,
onto the boat will do. Yeah.
You can take Mav and Elle because when a creature dies, they technically become an object for the purposes of spells.
Yeah.
You can get to the boat for sure.
Then I'll bring Mav and Elle's body and like Cece's like, if she's so fucking powerful, then maybe she can like do something about it. Because otherwise, we're all gonna die on this island anyway, and then she can like be alone on this island, and then nobody's gonna come and nobody will bring her a stupid fucking crates or whatever bullshit she wants. And I'm just like rowing like really fucking like angrily. Like
I think as you're rowing, Mav's just got Elle's head in his lap and just sort of like smoothing out the hair and just kind of like making him, I know it sounds silly, but just making him as comfortable as possible. Just kind of giving him a bit of a hug.
It is pitch dark, the dead of night. You row and row. Again, it's that thing that it always feels like it felt like on that first day that you rowed over there. It feels like rowing out into the ocean because you can't see very well. You can't see the other island that you're rowing towards, but you've done it a few times now, so you know to just trust and go west.
Yeah.
And eventually, with burning shoulders and arms and back, you feel the boat bump up against the shore of the Temple Island. Are you picking him up and going straight to Elska's hut? What are you doing?
I cast enlarge on myself and
Big Mav.
pick him up. Big Mav, pick him up and just start following Cece.
Yeah, Cece is like a Karen on a mission who is not happy with service. That is what she's on a mission.
You think Elska's the fucking manager?
and Mav is the long-standing husband, sort of quietly ambling behind, just with.
This L is faulty. I want a new one. And Cece is like marching through, like we're trying to remember the stuff, but she's almost. I feel like she's had enough run-ins with Elska to know what Elska's like. To know that like Elska knows we're here. Elska must know something. So Elska, she's just sort of shouting into the void of the island, and she's like, "Do something! I know you're so powerful. I know we pissed you off because we asked you questions, and I don't know what the fuck is going on. This is your weird island, and you know, there is something in you that likes to help people. At least I think in some way." You helped Joltish, you helped me, so help him. He needs you. It's not fair. It's not fair, so fix him.
You are stumbling through, I think, Mav, even though you're big Mav, it is awkward walking through a pitch dark wood. And Cece, you are stumbling through and you see that pale figure in the darkness in the woods, standing, pale face, almost like a sweeping halo of twigs, and she stands with her staff, looking silent.
Please.
She puts her hand up so that you don't come any further once you get near to her. What do you want?
Someone attacked Elle. We don't know who. It wasn't us. But he's not breathing and nothing works. And look, we'll leave you alone, okay? We'll leave you alone. We'll just do our time here. Just fix him, please. Just help him.
You are very generous, Cece. When you needed help, he did not come.
I don't care. It's not tit for tat.
He is unworthy.
And what? You get to decide that? Why do you get to decide whether he's worthy? Why? What about his friend, Jax? Jax thinks he's worthy. I think he's worthy.
Then Jax can bring him back. He refused to learn the lesson.
So what? We don't play your game? We don't learn your lessons? We die?
Think it is my lesson?
I don't know. Look, can you help him or not? If you can't, then let me know I'm not wasting my time.
He is not worthy. Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage, please.
No, I'm going to roll on D&D Beyond. Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 22. 12.
She steps closer to Mav with the body in his arms. She looks over the bloodied body. Such a waste. maybe you can learn his lesson for him. And she turns and walks away. It is pitch dark. There is wind in the trees. It is a cloudy night. You can't see the moon or the stars. And the ground is wet underfoot from the rain. And you're holding the body of your friend.
Mondays, am I right?
I think I sort of readjust Elle's body slightly and put a hand on Cece's shoulder and say, "Come on, let's find Elle a nice spot for him to rest a little more."
Okay.
And Big Mav kind of, if she'll let him, brings her into a hug, bends down, kisses the top of her head, and says, "Let's make him proud."
I really fucking hate this island. And then I start walking to the boat.
Me too. And I walk slowly after, giving just one last look at the house. Is she still watching?
Yeah.
And Mav.
Do it,
Come on,
Mav.
Mav.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Do it. We'll all go down together.
A downtime TPK. Who'd have thunk? If it was going to be anyone, it would be Lydia.
That's
Mav.
really fitting.
Mav makes a silent image of the person in the cage, and looks at Elska for a moment more, with not even veiled disgust, and anger, and just ultimate resentment, and starts to walk away. And that's me showing fucking restraint.
Well done.
Where are you taking Elle's body? Back to the homestead for the night, for the rest of the night?
Yeah, I think Cece would, with Mav's help, probably just want to like clean him up and like lay him in one of the other beds for now.
When you get back onto the island, like Jax comes running over to see, obviously you just fucking disappeared.
And I can't really explain anything to him.
And he sees Elle's still lifeless body, and he just tucks his legs underneath and goes small and sits on the ground, and it lies down.
I encourage Jax to come with us. Like,
He won't.
okay.
And that, oh my God, we were going to go into downtime, but then I just quickly did this little encounter.
I just quickly killed one of the 3 player characters.
Yeah, this was why Cece's other like begging to Elska was going to be like, you've killed me and Mav if you don't bring him back, because it's a struggle already.
Can I just to end? Can we? I'm gonna start. Yeah, no. We'll do that tomorrow. We'll do that next week. Okay.
Yeah, well, look, it's 10:10, and we're going to pick up here next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wow, that did not go exactly how I planned it at all.
So F's in chat.
Look, I know, but we always said we'd never eat Jacks, but we didn't discuss eating now.
Leave no trace.
We will see how this goes next week. And
my favourite thing is, just in the world of East Anglian TTRPGs, what's currently happening on the Wicked Slice show is that they're having to deal with the fact that Josh didn't realise how much to shit it would all go immediately. And what's happening on the Some Other Heroes Wild Beyond the Witchlight is Wayne was not ready for Theo to go full Theo and throw everything off the rails. And what Lydia didn't expect was herself. So everything has gone off the rails in Norfolk. Be careful.
Good game, guys. Good game. We will pop up. We'll come back next week for the second half of Downtime, whatever that fucking means. And it will be, just for like your reference. This is session 9 of what we expected to be about 11 sessions.
It's gonna be 10.
We've added another 5. Oh, yeah.
So thanks everybody. I don't know, Nikki, if you've got, I'm not asking you to like say a eulogy. I'm talking more about end stream chat that you sometimes do.
So no, just thank you very much, Flash, for resubscribing. 20 months. Fuck, guys, we're 4 months away from having to do a charity stream.
Woo!
That's stuff. Josh, thanks again for raiding. I really appreciate it. And Kamishoko, thank you very much for following. Thank you everyone who does the very, very kind thing of sharing us with other people. It really, really does mean the world. We would love to do more good. So I've already got lots of plans for next charity week. So I know this is away and away, but that's going to be a ton of fun, and hopefully we can do even better. Some of the heroes, check them out. Sundays, you know the drill. And Sundays, alternating Sundays and alternating Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Boom.
So this
Nailed
Sunday.
it. This Sunday. Michelle's in it.
I am.
And Wicked Slice, alternating Mondays. So catch up now, and then you can listen to the next one coming Monday. We've got lots of wonderful things happening in the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We've been kind of the little sting that we've dropped in the Discord is the beginning of. I think it's no secret that I desperately want us to be at a production level that's far beyond what we can A, afford, and B, accomplish in literally the human hours that the 4 of us have available to us. So jump in the Discord, follow the YouTube, tell your friends, and stay wicked. Tomorrow, 12 till 2, Dragon Age?
12 to 12. We're starting at 12 tomorrow.
Starting at 12, Dragon Age.
Earlier Dragon Age stream tomorrow.
It's like romancing the stone, except this stone is very fragile.
And like we say at the end of every single episode, something wicked this way came.
No.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And good luck.